Okay. Uh, Hi all, welcome to another episode. I mean, I can't call it another episode because probably this is the first one after a long time that I had as the first one. Uh, Wanted to do a series of videos on a theme of Know Your Batchmate as our concept. I am a part of PGCHRM 34, which is a course offered by XLRI, and Know Your Batchmate is a series which I wanted to have as an interview sort of a thing with my batchmates, where I get to know more. I mean, if I share this video, obviously everybody gets to know more about the concerned person. Casually get to understand a little more, dig deep, and then share it with the others, and probably take it forward with more other people. So here with us we have Piyush Gupta, who is who readily agreed after a long time of wait to be a part of this podcast. So welcome, Piyush. It's really nice to have you here.
Thank you, Sam. Why are you looking stressed?
Uh, do I? Okay, maybe it's because I'm talking to a camera without having someone to talk to in the initial phase. Probably that
Yeah,
makes me look a little stressed, but otherwise I'm chill because I know for a fact that it's my classmate, batchmate with whom I'm talking. So I don't
fantastic.
think the pressure is more so.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sam. Good to be part of this experimental series. Not only it helps the other batchmate, it will help me also understand few of our people. And in our most recent lecture, what we are learning about the networking effect, right? So I think once we are out of our course, out of sight, out of mind, but these type of small things will help keep the batch together and help us grow in our careers, amplifying the networking effect. So thank you for taking this initiative.
True. I think Samir was telling this that we should have more our educational sessions, which we used to have with subject matter experts. So, like how we were thinking of doing that, I think they should continue even after our course because we have around 100, 120 people, and to cover all of them, it will take some time. So, I think if
Yeah,
this continues further, we'll have a lot of other people interacting, and we get to know more of the others as well. So
absolutely.
uh, nice. I mean, to start with, I mean, when I used to talk to people, when it comes to Piyush, the first thing they feel nice about is the questions that you pose in the class. So that's something which I wanted to highlight about you, what I remember. So I mean, a little bit on that. What I mean, how exactly does your mind work when you're in a session, when you're in a class, or in general, how is your thought process? Throw some light on that for all of us.
Right. So, see, I'll say a couple of things over here, and I'll try to be, as genuine as I can. So, there are two things always at play, right? One is that class is the only time when I actually get to study the subject, right? Otherwise, due to my work commitments, I have a family, two kids, their demands. So, and then I like to have my sports also. I like to play squash. So, I want to give time to everything, and hence, when I am in a moment, I try to take the maximum advantage of that particular moment, right? So that's the first thing, that I know that this is the only time when I have to study. I would not be opening the book or reading the notes, or sometimes maybe even making the notes during the class. All that I'm doing is absorbing. So when I'm absorbing, I really want to absorb it to the maximum intent. So that's the first thing at play over here, right? The second thing at play is that I have a very good habit of, or an interest in either reading or keeping myself aware about the macroeconomic or my surroundings. So,
Okay.
with all my experience of 22 years, I have seen a lot of scenarios, situations. So, when professor is talking about some of the things, hardly it is ever the case that this is something that is I'm seeing it for the first time. So I may have seen that where the things actually go wrong and where to differentiate theory from practical. So I maybe jump on that at some point in times that while yes, it is good for theory, but this is the real practical issue. So how do we solve for it?
Okay. So the practicality aspect is where uh, your questions start. Like there is theory, there is understanding, but there is practicality. How does it work? Sort of thing. Okay. Now that you have told that this is the only time where you actually want to focus in the class, and that's the reason you are into it. Has there been any class or any classes where you're like, check it, yeah, today nothing is going inside, or I'm not able to concentrate, sort of a thing? Does that happen?
It does happen. Yes, it is. It does happen. Sometimes, specifically for the Friday evening class, unless until there is a high level of engagement, I'm again a very analytical person at that, right? So as long as we are talking about numbers, as long as we are talking about practical implementations, I'm all into it. But as soon as we start getting into those definitions and theories and just some general gyan, I kind of switch off for that, right? So yes, it does happen, but this is the time then I remind myself, look, if I do not do it now, then I'll have to spend some time, which will mean taking time out from some other place. So I try to get back myself. And these
Opportunity
questions
cost.
that I ask is to actually keep myself awake rather than anyone else. Have you heard of this
That's
concept called class participation?
class participation. No, what's that?
So, class participation is a good term and a bad term at the same time, right? Depending on whom you ask. So, for some people who are of the one school of thought would say class participation is good thing, shows your attentiveness, helps you learn, and all of those things, right? But then there is other school of thought which says, look, professor knows 300 times more than you. You are there to gain the knowledge. By asking these
Yeah.
type of questions, you are only trying to show that, hey, I am also here, look at me, right? So you're just trying to show yourself and or be heard, and that's why some people do not like it, and they look at class participation in negative connotation. So yeah, sometimes I do both.
No, I think it's a cycle where sometimes I start off by asking something because I want to be heard or something like that. But then if it's a genuine question, it again repeats. So the
Yes,
professor is also interested. He says something, it will trigger my thought process, things like that. Good. So, I mean, at least it's good to know that you also have your moments where you sometimes tune down and then you come back. That's nice.
absolutely.
So, coming to the next part, probably we can get to know more about where you are from, what is your native, uh, how has been your childhood, a little bit about your family. I think these things would be nice to know.
Okay, that's a pretty loaded question, and okay, so I was born in Jaipur. So Jaipur, the desert town, the pink city, that is my
The
hometown.
Rajasthan Royals.
Rajasthan Royals as a team I used to support till the time I did not develop hatred towards IPL. But yeah, that's a story for a separate day. Yeah. So, by the way, today we are both wearing yellow, which is the color of a
Chennai
specific
Super.
team, and that team had a lot of influence in my starting to hit the IPL. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, in any case, right? So yes, I did my schooling in Jaipur, St. Xavier's. It was a convent school. It was a boys' school. So, for a lot of people in today's generation, this concept would be extremely alien that
Strange.
there could have
Strange,
been
yeah.
schools which are boys only or girls only. Yes. So, but yes, I am from that era where I studied in a boys' school. And it had its own fun as well as disadvantages. I was an extremely obese child when I was in school. So, just to give you context, uh, today, I wear a trouser or a jean of 36 size. In my school days, I was wearing the size 40. Okay.
School
So,
time.
yes, school time,
Oh,
I was
okay.
wearing a size 40, right? So, So yes, I was a well-fed child, and now that time, when you are like this, kids are not mean, but sometimes, you cannot be playing football with other people. You may not be the fastest runner or be able to swim very easily, right? All of these things kind of keep on coming back. So I was quite a quiet, lonely child till my 12th standard, right? So I was average in studies, and did my 10th standard, had a very good interest in mathematics, took physics, chemistry, maths, computers as my electives. And then from there, I did engineering from Bhopal. I missed IIT by a few marks. Again, for
Okay.
today's
So you attempted
people,
IIT as well.
yes, I did, and I got a rank of 3,600 something. But in those days, IITs only had 3,000 seats. Again, the people who are hearing this today would know that IITs have more than 6,000 seats, right? So, but yeah, those were the days.
This is
So
way
then
back. Way back. Which year was this?
98,
Your 12th. 12th was in 98. Okay. Okay.
right? Uh, so yeah, that was so I got then admission in Bhopal, and that engineering time was really a pivotal moment, right? So I had made a very good bunch of friends, started doing some things which I did not do at home, right? And developed this habit of being a very conversational person, right? Very talkative person. So I think this is something that came out during my engineering days and not before this. But finished my engineering. When I finished my engineering, again, the dot-com bubble had burst. So I started preparing for CAT. But before I could write the examination, I got an off-campus from Infosys. And that's then when I started working in late of 2002. Yeah, so yeah, that's about kind of, the early days and things that I did. Never played any sport, tried to do some cricket there. But when I got into engineering, so that was the time I got jaundice, okay? And so the positive impact of jaundice was that I lost all of my baby fat, right? So
That's your turning point.
that's the turning point, and that was the time when I enrolled myself into mass building, bodybuilding, and really developed my interest
Was it
towards
proper
weights.
gymming or just healthy
No,
upper
no, no,
body?
no. Proper gymming. Did a lot of weights and was really focused on upper body, thighs, and everything. Yeah, I've done a lot of things there. So I left Infosys and joined SAP just because they had an amazing gym within the campus. And the trainer there, Jack, I still remember his name, was an awesome person, right? So yeah, I trained with him for a few times, and maybe sometime I'll share those pictures. I used to look good in those pictures.
Would be nice. Like how they say, it's not the subject, sometimes it's the teacher. So same way,
Mhm.
it's not the gym as such, but it's the trainer who sometimes really
Yes,
inspires.
yes,
That's nice to
yes.
hear. What about your family? Who all were there in your family when, as a kid?
So I have a younger sister, 4 years younger to me. So just the two of us. My mother and my father, they had very big families. So my father was nine brother sisters. My mother is seven brother sisters. So I had a lot of cousins, but they were all living every part of the country. You name me a city, and I'll find a contact in that city. So yeah, I grew with, but immediate family, a younger sister, and we had a lot of distance between us, right? So, because anyways, I was a quiet person and, maybe having my own complexities or whatever, plus the big brother, 4 years old. So, I never had a
True, true.
good conversation with my sister until the time when I had lost all of those inhibitions.
I mean, when you talked about your sister, I was able to relate a little because my brother and me, we have a 5 year age gap.
Hmm.
Something similar to what you said. But when we were kids, I used to hate interacting with him. Like, you don't come here, you go away. I mean, I'm sitting
Yeah.
with my friends, he'll come in. So it used to be a lot of friction. But I think when I came to Dubai, that is when I started connecting with him more.
Yes.
So more so now he's like a very good friend for me. He's actually a best friend for me. So
Yes, I have met him.
childhood,
He's a fantastic
yes.
person.
Childhood wise, yes, I think most of us have those sibling rivalry going on.
Yes.
And currently, how your family is you, your wife, kids.
Yeah. So wife, two kids. So I lost my father in 2015. And
Sorry.
mom, she stays with us in Bangalore for most of the time. Sometimes we still maintain our house in Jaipur. My sister is in Gurgaon, so my mom travels sometimes, but majorly she's with us in Bangalore. So the kids, when we are recording this in 2024, right? So the girl is 10 and boy is 7. They are getting into the age where things will start becoming serious very soon. Till this point in time, it was all adventure, joy, play. But yeah, things will start getting serious now.
And especially with a dad like you, I think they should see that more.
What do you mean? I am the spoiler in the family, at least. This is what my wife says, right?
No, but the thing is, what happens? It's always that way. For our younger generation, we will remember what all happened, and we will try to keep that in
Yeah.
consideration. So that way, yes.
Yeah, but Sam,
Coming
I
to
will
your,
have to tell this one thing for you, right? Because till this point in time, you have not considered fatherhood.
yes,
So you would see that in a average family, the father would be the spoiler and the mother would be the nurturer and caregiver and all of this, right? So I am following my role to the T. If it is raining outside, I want to go in the rain, get wet myself, and get kids wet also, even if all of us are sneezing after that. So
that's nice. I mean, I never thought of you to be a guy who is like this, like how you said. But yeah, coming to know a little bit about how you are and what your childhood has been, that's not a surprise. Now, coming to your the places where you have been, you told you have a lot of places that you have been and you have lived in. So probably from Jaipur, how was your journey till you reached Bangalore?
oh my God, that's a big one. So, yeah, I've been really fortunate, really fortunate in doing this. So, from Jaipur, once I finished my engineering in Bhopal, then I joined Infi in Mysore for those 6 weeks of training.
Training.
Came, yeah, and then got posted in Bangalore. So from Bangalore, I spent 3 years around in Bangalore and then moved to Gurgaon. And a lot of people would not know that I enrolled in myself. In fact, I gave an examination, a coveted examination, and got a seat for myself in MDI Gurgaon. I
Okay.
studied 1 year in MDI Gurgaon as an executive student. So we had classes Saturday, Sunday, full day. And I don't remember, was it a Wednesday or a Thursday in the evening, and then Sunday, Sunday, full day, right? So I had studied 1 year. So basically, for that, I moved to Gurgaon. And then I got a chance to go to a place called Lausanne. So now, the first time I was told, it was with a friend, come mentor, come senior. And he just told to me, अरे पीयूष तू एसएपी करता है ना यस हाँ लोजान जाएगा क्या and those were the days I had no laptop even. So I went back to my office desk and on a desktop actually searched what is Lausanne. And then I figured, oh my God, this is a place in Switzerland. People go for on
Oh,
site to
yeah.
US, right? And then I got a chance to go to Switzerland. So yeah, of course, yeah, ha jayega. Right? So what else could have been the answer? So that's where it started. So I started working with Philip
So that
Morris
was
as
your
a
first foreign
first foreign
location.
assignment. Yes.
Okay.
Switzerland was the first foreign assignment. So I went with Philip Morris over there, and Philip Morris was doing an HR transformation program. in for Europe at that point in time. So the idea was that because Switzerland is an expensive location, so they would do a COE setup in Spain and a shared services center in Poland, right? So basically for this transformation, when I started going there, my 1 year of MDI actually helped. While I could not complete that course because the course required 2.5 years to complete, but that really helped me get into the process side of HR, enterprise compensation, and move out of the tech side of the things, right? So that's when I kind of started
That was
working
your
on it.
shift, actually.
That was the shift. Yeah, that was the first pivot in the career. So so that's when I kind of started learning about enterprise compensation, started working with practitioners, SMEs, and then from there, I moved to Poland because then the decision was changed to have the COE also co-located. So I was in Poland supporting all of the Europe things. So it took like 3 years for us to set up everything in Europe. And by that time, Philip Morris decided that they want to do same thing in Asia. So that brought me, and I was really keen, enjoying those things. I got a really good boss come mentor, Reuven Libin. He's a Swiss national and an amazingly good person. So he actually hosts a very good LinkedIn channel, and if you find time, go and read through it. So then he moved to Hong Kong, and that's when he also kind of asked me to come over there and do the same things all over for Asia. So that was my next stint. So after Switzerland, Poland, then I went to Hong Kong, and very different from the Western of India side, the culture, the ways of working, even the taxation, right? It was very, very different. The great things to learn. So, and I got married when I was in Switzerland. So we came to Hong Kong. Hong Kong was the place both the kids were born. And in general, we really, really enjoyed Hong Kong. So once this Philip Morris, I had spent some time over there, finished all the things that I needed to do. Then I got a chance to move to Schneider Electric. So Schneider Electric was going through, again, an HR transformation from being manufacturing industry. So Schneider Electric, first of all, it is not Schindler. It does not make lifts. Okay. So Schneider Electric is an electric company. It makes the medium voltage, which is transformers and others, and low voltage, which is the MCBs or switches and those kind of things. So while they were a 150 years old company, not a lot of people knew them. It was majorly electrical manufacturing. So the company was trying to transform from an electrical manufacturing to a high-tech industry. And while all the departments of the company had to evolve, I think HR and specifically rewards had a great big hand to evolve in that. So you have to engage the new age talent. You have to create policies, stocks. You have to create mobility so that talent can move across. And then you have to bring in harmonization, right? So as a reward person, it was a best way to learn, contribute, and grow with the organization. So I had a good time in Hong Kong in till 2018. And that is when Schneider wanted to send me to India to take up a special project of setting up their overall rewards hub, the global rewards hub in India. So 2018, I came to Bangalore and set it up, brought in within rewards. We do a lot of processes, right? Benchmarking, benefits, incentives, recognition. So my idea was that, look, and I'm a patriot at heart, for me, India, while I had got an opportunity, but, India always stays with me. So there are a lot of these things, and specifically with technology, why do we need to kind of, create the complexity? We should be able to do things from one place, bring synergy, bring harmonization. So I did a lot of things, and in 2020, I was looking for a move and got a chance to work with Amazon in Singapore. So that's when I moved from Bangalore back to Singapore. Spent some time there. With Amazon, I did not spend too much time, year and a half, but Amazon is an amazing company, right? Whatever you would have heard in the news or read about
We hear a
it,
lot
or
negative.
I think that's all, in my personal opinion, that is all propaganda, right? It is an amazing company. It has a different working style. Look, you have been working for a very, very long period. What is, and specifically as an HR person, what is our typical life cycle, right? We get up, we create slides, we present slides, we recreate the slides, and then we go back to sleep, right? So this is a typical lifestyle. Amazon had nothing. The slides were banned. Even if you wanted a permission to sneeze, you need to write a paper, right? That kind of really kind of improved my reading and my writing habit. How a typical meeting would run in Amazon is that, okay, if there are 5, 6, 7 people, uh, the presenter would come, put the paper in the chat menu. The paper could be 6 pages, 10 pages, 12 pages long, and everyone quietly read the paper for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever is depending on the size of the paper. And then the presenter just said, okay, what are the questions that I can answer you? Or if it is a proposal that is asking for approval, if the proposal gets approved or not. So the speed was there, right? Unlike a lot of places where, you have to get validation from a lot of people. So people who are in the meeting, they have read through it, either it is a go or a no-go, right? So and then I got to work on benefit side. So as reward professionals, what happens is that you focus always on compensation, and benefits is something that a broker does for you. But Amazon was unlike anything. It
It
really
was
wanted
in-house,
it in-house and really caring benefits, right? So for
not just a
example,
tick in the box.
no, 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 far from it. So in US, they provide cancer care till the last rupee or dollar that would be required for caring.
Oh,
With
okay.
Amazon, I was able to, in a very traditional conservative country like Japan, which does not recognize same gender partnerships, because Amazon said that, look, if I provide my benefit of in medical benefit to a same gender partner in US, why should I not provide it in Japan? So that was the type of freedom, and I was able to design plans and bring in the similar benefit, egalitarian benefits across the country. In India, we did a lot of good things around benefits, around childcare. So got to learn benefits. Amazing. So it's a great place to work, but then what happens is that you suddenly come across someone who presents a even more powerful value proposition than what you are doing. So that's what happened in Unilever. When I joined from Amazon, I came to Unilever, and the value proposition at that point in time was that Unilever was incubating a startup
Okay.
which would create a B2B app to service the household shop, the mom and pop stores. And remember, I grew up in Jaipur. I grew up between these type of shops, so I had a connection with them. I knew their struggles, right? So the plan was amazing. The plan really had a potential to uplift these people. So I found the concept extremely purposeful, and that's when I moved from Amazon to Unilever. And then with Unilever from Singapore, I moved back to Bangalore. So that's where I am right now. So yeah, God has been kind. Got a chance to live at a lot of places at length and understand the culture, evolve myself.
A lot of hopping. A lot of hopping has happened. True.
Yeah, hopping may be a
Oh,
negative word. I really enjoy. I'm a plain happy person, Sam. Let's meet in Dubai tomorrow.
oh, would
Yeah.
love to meet. We have to. In case you come here, we definitely have to meet.
Yeah.
Sure. In fact, I just wanted to ask regarding this. Initially, in your LinkedIn, for your Unilever thing, you had put total rewards or something, but now it's changed.
Yeah, I've moved.
So I think it happened in the past 6, 8 months.
Yes, yes,
So
yes. I think
the new
that's right.
thing is what you mentioned right now about the mom and pop thing.
No, so that was the time that I came in. I came in again as the rewards, global rewards lead for this particular spin-off organization. But then eventually I look again, maybe we'll have to kind of dissect it a bit. What is a typical career journey of an HR professional, right? So you either specialize yourself in either of the areas. It could become total rewards, it could be learning development, it could be talent, right? Or
True.
you become generalist, right? Now, while the word generalist always attracts a very negative connotation, but when you look around yourself, how many CHROs can you find versus how many reward leaders can you find, right?
Yeah. That way, I think the number of CHROs is more than a
Yes,
total rewards guy that we can
yes.
come across.
So I always kind of had this direction set that look, I have done HR systems, I have done HR transformation, I have done shared service, I have done total rewards as a specialism. So now I think I wanted to move on to an HR business partnering area and spend about 3-4 years in this area, prepare myself for a CHRO role in future, which gives me a rounded profile. So while I joined in as total rewards, I was able to find an opportunity to take the HR head role of one of the departments within Unilever. And that's how kind of I took my first move from being a specialist to a generalist.
Okay. So this is that digitizer part
Yes,
that you
the
mentioned.
the
Very
digitization
interesting.
distributive trade. Yeah. And right
Cool.
now, I'm also heading HR for water and air wellness business, which is
Okay.
basically the devices business of Unilever. So Pureit water purifiers in India, Truliva in China, and Blue air purifiers in Sweden and US. So uh,
Similar to our AquaGuard and other
yes,
stuff.
yes, yes.
Okay. Cool. I mean, in fact, I wanted to ask a little bit something different, but now that we are into this, I just wanted to understand how, I mean, if that is okay with you to share, how is a typical day for you? How would a typical day be? And how exactly do you go about what is your, if there is any possibility to discuss? Otherwise, if it's something confidential, not.
Yeah, so see, I mean, all of us are in HR field and we have to always deal with some things that cannot be shared in public. So if we
Definitely.
just kind of say that maybe 2 to 3 hours of your day goes in those type of subjects, so that leaves you with 6-7 hours of any productive work, right? When I was kind of growing up in my career, uh, in projects area or otherwise, I always found HR business partner to be a very distant person, someone whom you did not see or hear or touch. And these days, because of these WhatsApp universities, this particular profession has been maligned a lot, right? So
True.
I make a point to be a very reachable HR, right? I am very actively involved in the business discussions that are happening. I understand both the customer development or basically the sales area as well as this water air wellness business. I am reachable to the junior most member in the team who may be just struggling with a harsh supervisor, to a vice president who is also struggling, but she cannot share it with anyone else because she is at a position, right? And the top is extremely lonely. You have to believe me on that, right?
True.
So, right.
Absolutely.
So so this is where I try to make a difference, where that I had promised myself that I would be and it took time to create that trust, because people have always seen that, oh yeah, HRVP, yeah, this must be some person somewhere, I don't know who she or he is, right? But I think within my sphere of influence, the two departments that I manage, every person knows me. And now I have created that element of trust that for anything, even if they want to have a career discussion, they are thinking of a move or something else, they feel free to block time with me and have a honest conversation about it, right? So that takes another hour, couple of hours during the day, which is, all of this people aspect of the things. So there goes more than half of your time, and then the remaining time is what I spend while I am doing work on my business. I feel it is very important to keep connected with the organization also, right? Otherwise, it is very easy, and specifically for an HR person, to get into their silo. So I always have at least one, if not two, projects running, which is on top
where
of
you're
my regular
involved.
job. Yes.
Okay.
So, and either Amazon or Unilever, these are great places to explore those things, because while I have my day job, I have a squad where there is a dedicated project, there is a dedicated timeline, there is no hierarchical relationships, there is no reporting lines. There is just SME work, discuss, brainstorm, develop, right? So it
Active
keeps your
involvement.
grace alive. Yes. So that's how I typically keep my day, which is, the things that need to be done, plus the things that I want to do, and my personal connections. So
Getting the right balance there.
yes.
But I think for this to happen, there has been quite a lot of groundwork initially. Like
Yeah.
you had to win the trust of people, then you had to put across yourself out there and things like that. Nevertheless, I think this is something that we enjoy doing, what we like doing, where we are passionate about. That doesn't seem more like work. That seems more like something we love doing. So that's
Yeah.
how I see what your day
Absolutely.
is.
So I'll just tell you this one incident, right? So 2 days back, we have brought a new change management person in the team, right? Now, again, because of this overall atmosphere, she just blocked some time with me, and all she wanted to do was, okay, how do I go about understanding these who are the right people to talk to, and I have these doubts about this person. So all of these things, even if it does not matter if the whatever is the level of that particular individual, if they have asked time from you, I think it is my responsibility. I enjoy, and I think if I can do something in my next few years, I would like to learn coaching. There are a couple of certifications, ICF, NECF,
I
those
see.
certifications. Yeah. So I would like to prepare for those, because I think I really enjoy those mentoring coaching discussions.
Oh, that's something nice to hear. I mean, if that is something that we enjoy doing, why not take it up the next level, next notch, and take it further?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All the very best for that, whatever your
Yeah, thank
plans
you.
are.
It is still good sometimes away, because for these certifications you need to do certain minimum number of hours and other things. So yeah, it is some time away, but at least I know what I want to do in next few years.
Fantastic. Coming to the next part, I wanted to ask why PGCHRM? What made you take that up after you have had quite a journey,
Yeah,
2021
so
plus?
see, to be really honest, right, two things. So like I told you, all my learning, while, as I told, I did 1 year at MDI, but I did not finish the course. So I do not have a degree to show or make any claim around it, right? It is just because we are having a friendly chat. Otherwise, you will not find it on my LinkedIn or wherever, right? So
True.
uh, so basically, all the things that I learned on job, and I learned it because there was a need, right? So for me, going back to theory is really a validation of the things, understanding why am I doing certain things that I am doing, right? So for example, again, just because we are in the training and development program these days, right? So this whole concept of, while we were always doing this training needs assessment, but understanding certain models around it, understanding the different process, the framework on how it done, it really tells you, okay, why am I doing this? Otherwise, yes, I know I have to do these 3 steps, but why? Right? This is what this course is providing to me. And I always had this in mind that, I could not finish my MDI. So I am kind of redeeming myself by doing this particular course.
So basically, this is like a back to the basics sort of a thing. Get the foundation,
Yes,
get a little
yes, yes,
bit more understanding about the foundation, and then take it forward.
yes.
So far, how has your journey been? 6, 7 months,
Salt and,
7.5 months. Yeah, we have
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah,
here.
salt and pepper, I would say. Some
Cool.
subjects have been really nice, engaging. Others have been a bit too theoretical to my interest. Like I said, I like practical analytics. If I just have to cram some definitions from a book, I really suck over there.
Mhm. Cool. Uh, Nevertheless, going to the next part. So your journey has been from tech, you have moved on to HR.
Yes.
So if you just go back and see which is that aspect which you probably feel more connected. Are you a tech sort of a guy, or are you the current whatever your role sort of a guy? How would you put yourself out there?
That's an interesting question. And this is something that I used to tell to my team also a lot, right? So we in our profession need not know, we need not know what is inside or how a thing works, right? But we should know how should I make it work to my use, right? If I have to kind of put it in a technical language, I need not be the developer or a BA, but I need to be a super admin, right? So I think I utilize my technological background as a superpower in the world of HR. I am extremely comfortable with Power BI, analytical numbers, charting, having multi-connected spreadsheets. In fact, Microsoft Office 365 these days is launching amazing products, amazing collaboration products, right? And I have been using all of them. The most recent one is Microsoft Loop, right? So I wear my technological background as a sleeve in my arm.
I had a colleague of mine in my previous company who used to use Power BI. He was a sales head.
Mm.
Sales head typically they are not too technical. They are just numbers driven. But this guy used to take the entire data, put it in Power BI, do his magic, and
Yes.
would present data in terms of like a wow
Yeah,
experience for all of us. So
it
that's
makes a
really
difference. I'll give you another example on this one, right? So when I was in Schneider, I was leading the recognition portfolio. So now we were doing some data analysis, and yeah, recognition is fine, but we were able to drive a correlation between the people who got recognized and people who are good performers, right? And there is a direct correlation between recognition and good performance. So so much so that you could see it year on year, the number of times a person was recognized versus the feedback score of that person, right? So of course, again, coming back, this is something that I saw as a data. I brought it up, I presented it to the relevant people, and got some next steps around it. But now when I am doing the theory, this is something that has already been researched, and there is already a Heisenberg theory available for it, right? So, uh, that's how kind of I relate these two things.
Cool. Something which just came to my mind now. I had not thought of this. Uh, See, now when we take the journey of someone who started his or her role in HR as an entry level person, like a generalist or an assistant, uh, the journey can go. You become probably an expert, then you probably tend to be a team lead or a below manager, assistant manager, then you become a manager, then you try to branch out, then you go forward. So if we can put this across, say, in 4 levels, something that you have experienced: the entry level, the expert level, the junior manager, the interface between the manager and the team level, and a senior managed level. So if these are the 4 levels that we look at, what would be the advice you would give, or I wouldn't say advice, what would it be that you would share, you would ask them to focus on, say, one area that you want people to work on in their role, so that they can grow at a faster pace, or they can have a journey which they enjoy? What would it
Right.
be? Like, starting from an entry level, then you have an expert, you have a team lead sort of a thing, and a manager sort of.
Yeah. Sam, I have tried this. I believe in this. And I think the one mantra that I find useful for myself, and I leave it for other people to try, is that the road less traveled is always the more enriching one. Okay. If I have to kind of put it in context, so if you will see typical, and if you will see even our batch profile, right? As
Correct.
soon as a simple graph comes in, 80% of the people are just dead already, right?
True.
And when a curve is drawn on that graph, another 15% kind of drop off, right?
True. True.
So if you are in an HR profession, having some knowledge of numbers, it's simple numbers. It's not
Correct.
statistical numbers, right? Simple numbers gives you an edge, right?
True.
So whichever level you are, you need to find that less traversed road. And sometimes it is just in front. Yeah.
Okay.
So as HR professionals, we are very good in talking but how many of us actually like to write a paper, right? Very, very, very difficult. But you try to write a paper for the first time, 3 days, you will not be able to write a paragraph. But then when you will get into it, you could do very things very, very differently. So I'm saying that we need to be a bit more smart about knowledge. Or expertise is not everything. Smartness is what brings the differentiating factor. Networking brings the differentiating factor. So when you say, like, when someone is at the junior level, maybe doing admin type of work, right? Just go around, ask, see. I was working with a junior TA person, and she was like, I want to, so I was kind of mentoring, and I want to do something, otherwise it's always the same thing. One requisition came, call to so many people, set up interviews, what is different, right? So I said that within Unilever, I will not take a name. Unilever is trying to set up this one new specific business unit, and this particular unit will require a very different skill set, right? Why don't you write a paper and go to the leader of the organization and say that, look, to hire profiles that you are looking for, these are few things, these are few of the places, or the places where I can get the talent. And you would see that project come to you rather than you go ask for that particular project, right? So she did that, and eventually they said, oh yeah, great, fantastic idea, why don't you kind of become our TA partner and help us staff. Now imagine, for a junior TA person to be the lead TA for a new growth business within Unilever, right? Isn't it a game changing thing? Forget about your salary,
Massive.
your grade, your
That's
work
massive.
level.
Experience-wise, it's massive.
Right? The experience, the connection. So you have to kind of take those initiatives. Don't do the same thing again and again, and then think, okay, I have done this enough for 3 years. Now I deserve a promotion. As soon as you are in that mindset that I deserve this, you are finished.
True. I mean, that's something which we all get stuck onto at some point some point of time or the other. That I mean, it's very classy and cheesy to say, ask what you do for the country, don't ask what the country does and all that stuff. But deep down, we want others to be that way. Like if I want
Yeah.
someone to come to my team, I want to have a person who's a go-getter, who is someone who's enthusiastic, who will come forward. So why not be that at the same time
Yes.
without complaining? Cool. A few other things which I wanted to ask. Any happy memory that you have from your childhood which you want to share? Something that you can think of and say, yeah, this was the moment that made me smile.
The one thing, if I can say, which makes me very vulnerable now, is that I have zero memories of my childhood. I don't know why. I do not know if this is a medical condition or if it is a trauma, or maybe, like I told you, I was a very obese child. So there may have been some chemical locha in my brain at that point in time. But when my classmates, because we are now connected over a WhatsApp group, they talk about, oh, such and such teacher in 5th standard did this, and in 3rd standard you did this. I have no clue what these guys are talking about. Forget 3rd or 5th. I have no clue of 11th or 12th standard, right? So I think that part of my life is just erased. I don't know why, but yeah. But maybe it's a good thing that it is erased, so that I don't have to remember or all of
Keep
that.
thinking about it.
Yes.
Then something
How do
happy
you?
that you want to think of from your recent past then, in your professional journey, if you can think of.
Professional journey. So there was a person in the career who said that, Piyush, you are not a strategic person. You do not think long term, right? And somehow I took it to my heart. Yes. So because in my mind, I thought I was doing so. In any case, when I continued to work with that person, because there was a working relationship, but when I kind of put this whole idea of doing this rewards hub from India, so I was in Hong Kong doing this, so it was actually I who seeded this idea and then eventually won the project. And coming back to your home country as an expatriate is an awesome thing, isn't it? So
True.
so when that happened, in my mind, I showed the middle finger to that person. Only in my mind, I
True.
showed the middle finger to that person that, look, I planned for it. I met the right people, made the good proposal. If this is not strategic, then what it is? So,
What else?
that was my win.
I mean, that's nice because something that someone said actually triggered and it inspired you to take it up. And at one point in time, you were able to remember that back and say, hey, look at what has happened.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So I just prepared something. I thought of having what do you say? There is something called this or that. I don't know if you have come across.
Okay.
We ask two
Try.
options and say what type of a person you are, sort of a thing. So I have listed a few things. I'll be asking that. You need to be quick in answering. So we start with the first one: early bird or a late owl?
Early.
Early. Formal or casual?
Casual.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Plant or animal?
Animal.
Space or deep? Deep down the ocean?
Space.
Space. Text or call?
Call.
Driver or passenger?
Drive.
Car or a bike?
Car.
iOS versus Android.
iOS.
Pizza or pasta.
Pasta.
Family or friends.
Friends.
Cool. The next segment, I put it as rapid fire. Though it says rapid fire, I don't think it needs to be fast. But then this is something that is going to give us a little bit of insight into you. One habit you want to give up.
Talk less, or maybe I talk
Yes.
too much, so I want to give up this habit.
One habit you want to start, something you haven't been doing. You haven't been able to start till now.
But not being able to start.
Mhm.
I find myself in a very fortunate position. I've done a lot of things that I wanted to do, both in professional and personal journey. But if I can restart something, I want to come back to my reading habit. I really loved reading. I was an avid reader. But over the last decade or so, that habit has lost somewhere behind. So,
You want to get back into the groove of reading.
yes.
Cool. Your favorite song?
जो जीता वही सिकंदर.
Nice. Okay. What makes you smile in general?
Just unpretentious or non-pretentious people, you know.
Nice. One thing people don't know about you.
A lot of things actually, because I carry this facade, but okay, but yeah, this also people know. I don't know. I don't know what is it.
Probably you can just put it out what we don't know because
Hmm. Uh, so when I lost my father, what would be the first reaction of anyone, right? They would go into grief, and
true.
typically between a boy and father, they always follow the same curve, whichever culture, whichever age group. They are having a distance for the first years of their life, and after that they are almost the best friends, right? So typically it is very important, or it is obvious to kind of get into grief. But I don't know, when I lost my dad, my first reaction was, okay, responsibility, what are the things that now need to be done? In fact, the first time I actually thought, I just suppressed that feeling so much, so much. First time I kind of let myself loose was maybe 4 or 5 months
Oh, okay.
after the fact, right? So yeah, I was
So
really
even then
connected.
your logic was on the higher side. Probably what next sort of a question
Yes,
till five.
yes.
That's different. What is your inspiration? Who or what is your inspiration?
Uh, my inspiration is a good lifestyle. I will not joke about it. I like to have good taste. And that inspires me. While people can claim all the bad things that money can do, but I think it is important for you to provide. And I don't know if it is part of your question or not, but typically I think it is. If you ask me what is one of my fears, right? So, uh, see, we are all in HR profession, and we have this unique advantage or disadvantage that we get to see a lot of data, right?
Lot
And
of
I have a lot of data, and
data.
I
Yes.
have I have seen, I have been the opportunities to work in companies which are humongous size, right? 70,000, 300,000, 1.5 million. These were the company sizes that I have worked with. One thing that I always saw was that the typical workforce is between 25 to 40. Then there is a sudden, so you can say there may be 60 to 70% of your workforce is in that age bracket, right? Then the next 20% is in the age bracket of 40 to 50. Then maybe another 7 or 8% of your population in 50 to 55 age bracket. And then there is only 1 or 2% who are in the above 55 age group, and irrespective of organizations, companies, right? So I always have had this fear that, look, I cannot be that 1 or 2% who will get an opportunity to go on to 60. So my productive years are rather limited, but the lifespan, touch wood, may be long, right? So I need, and hence coming back to your question, a good lifestyle and money is the inspiration, because it is not to be lavish, but it is to be more prudent about the 30 years when there will be no earning and there will be only expenses.
Basically, to do what you like doing or what you love doing, money is what is going to give that freedom of thought.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're always stuck to your routine and the route.
If I like driving right now, right, and maybe once I will not have anything to look tomorrow morning, at least I will have a big diesel guzzler truck, and I can just go and drive in Northeast, right? But that requires money, isn't it, for your car, for your fuel, for your stay?
What is your biggest regret?
I wanted to do a 2 years full-time MBA from a super premium school, right? So, this is one thing that I think, yes.
Cool. Your favorite book?
I read Paulo Coelho a lot. So Zakir from Paulo Coelho is really, really close to my heart.
That's the Alchemist guy, right?
Yes, the Alchemist guy, yes.
Okay. Cool. Your favorite holiday destination?
Take me to any beach.
Any beach, yeah. Same here. But I want a beach which doesn't have a lot of people. Here, there are some beaches which are crowded. I hate that. A beach which is serene is what I would prefer. My last question, one thing that you feel you should have known when you were 19 years old?
When I was 19, what was I doing when I was 19? Okay, so I think things happen. Things always happen. I wanted things to happen now. And that causes desperation, right? But things happen. You just need to keep on going.
That is something you wish you had known when you were 19.
Yes.
Cool. Fantastic. I mean, I think we have come to the last leg. Just wanted to let you know, getting to know more about how you are and what your journey has been has given me a lot of insight for my own journey ahead. Maybe I will not emulate the same things, or maybe I'll not take the entire thing away, but it has given me a few thoughts to ponder upon, a deep dive down sort of a thing. It's been very nice getting to know you more, apart from the interactions we have had as group teammates working on projects. I mean, getting to know more about you has been a very nice thing for me. Thank you so much, Piyush. It was really nice.
Thank you.
Spending this time with you.
Now, thank you for giving this platform. These type of things, no one talks to you, because you're always busy in your daily life. So by doing this thing, I get to reflect. I went back to my childhood and my fears and other things, right? So, and you are absolutely right. This is my journey. This is my copyright. Your journey will be your copyright, and it will be even more nicer. So, go for it.
Thank you so much, Piyush. It was very nice. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and having a look at this. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
We can stop the recording.